Search continues in Massapequa Park for evidence at the home of accused Gilgo Beach murder suspect. And now CBS 2's Carolyn Gussoff is speaking with a former escort who claims she had a terrifying date with him.
I told people for years, I said, I swear to you, I had dinner with the Gilgo Beach killer.
A frightening encounter with Rex Heuermann, claims former escort Nikki Brass, that the two hooked up in 2015 for a date. He asked her to his house. She insisted on a restaurant.
He told me he was an architect. I knew he worked in Manhattan. And then he got to where he asked me if I liked true crime, asked if I knew about the Gilgo Beach murders.
She says her gut told her to get away.
He said, how do you think he gets rid of the bodies without being seen? And I said, I don't know. I've never been to Gilbert Beach. I don't know the area. And he was like, well, you know, it's really dark and desolate.
Brass is represented by John Ray, the attorney for Gilgo victims, including escort Shannon Gilbert. Brass claims Heuermann spoke about her, too.
He said, what about that Shannon Gilbert girl, the one from Jersey? You think that's connected? And I was like, I do. And he was like, yeah, me too. And he hypothesized that it was like a killing party.
10 other bodies were found along Ocean Parkway after Gilbert went missing. Police concluded her death was an accident. Ray has insisted it was murder.
We don't have any evidence that he's connected to Shannon Gilbert, except what Nikki has just now told us. But it puts Shannon in the sphere of this man. I think there needs further inquiry by the authorities.
Ray's had his own bizarre encounters, taunting recent anonymous phone calls.
He tape recorded a reporter from 2012 reporting on the Gilgo Beach case. He made eerie sounds and eerie noises, and then he spoke. I hope you're enjoying your pizza. We had not ordered pizza. At the door was a Domino's pizza man with 3 boxes of pizza.
Ray says he reported the calls to police.
Wow. This is some real interesting shit, ladies and gentlemen. We have another cold case that's been literally solved up in my neck of the woods. From those of you that haven't really heard on what really went down. They're talking about the Gilgo Beach murders that took place around the late 2000s, early 2010s. And it's been gone cold until literally now, where they finally found their suspect literally after 13 years. Come to find out, the homeboy actually is an entrepreneurial architect who has a very strong civil engineering background. And basically law enforcement up there, Suffolk County Police Department, as well as the New York State Police and FBI, have accused a gentleman by the name of Rex Heuermann of the Gilgo Beach murders that took place around 2009, 2010, and 2011. With 4 main victims over the course of about a year or two. And how Rex did it was calculative, very sinister, very cunning, very demonic. Not only did he murder those women that came by, and also, side note, those women were escorts, sex workers. Not only did he murder these women, allegedly, according to Suffolk County Police, because I'm saying alleged because you can't really actually say he actually did until a conviction is actually made, so we're going to go with alleged for now. They have like a lot of advanced DNA testing that actually led the suspect to be Heuermann, advanced DNA technology, various hairs, various like crumbs that has been left all over the place that cops would ever actually pick up and literally trace, which led them to Rex Heuermann, which is a sinister, demonic bastard.
Juicy!
Ooh-wee. Let's go dig into. I'm gonna go try and because it's literally trying to so much to unpack, but I don't want to try and go too much into the case per se, because you know they have actual criminal defense attorneys that can literally dissect it to a T. But I will relate it to an example on what is high value behavior and what is not high value behavior.
Back in the day, it used to be kind of taboo for guys to go to escorts, and I openly promoted. I've taken an escort to a company function.
Really?
It helped my fucking career.
Wow.
I went to a company function.
Unless somebody else there recognizes her.
Hey, no. That's what did it, bro.
Oh, okay.
I went to a company function. I hired one of the top escorts in Dallas to go to a company function with me, because you don't want to go to these things alone. And I had heard that this is a good idea. So I hired her, like a la Pretty Woman stuff. And I was not rich. And I took her, and I'm in the company in the executive washroom, because they had the functions, all the bathrooms are open. So us normal little peons could use that. So I was like, well, sure, why not? I'm going to go in there. A guy comes out of the stall, and all he says is, walks by, wash his hands. That Kelly's an incredible girl. And he walks on out, and I'm like, he was the VP of marketing.
Right.
3 weeks later, I get a call. Mr. Johnson would like to see you in his office. And I'm sitting up there, Mr. Johnson. We're just talking about the weather and Cowboys and this and that. Nothing at all. Nothing. It was like banal water cooler talk. About 3 weeks or 4 weeks later, I started getting premium accounts handed my way, more opportunities. My manager started talking to me completely different. I started getting invited over to the come over to the house for dinner. I didn't know I had an advocate. And it turns out about 3 to 6 months later, I got into the management program. And what ended up happening is I went and I played golf with these guys in the scramble, and he's there. And I asked him, I was like, are you like my secret benefactor or something? He's like, he was a regular of the girl that I took there. He's like, anybody who had enough sense to bring her is somebody I need to keep my eye on. Because she is one of the most discreet people. He's been seeing her for years. And he's like, I know how much she costs, so that tells me you're not stupid. And she's not, he's like, I just needed to see who you were. And he's like, I've done my research on you and done my work on you. And he was like a real life benefactor. So what it taught me was there's a different level of power moves. And we have stigmatized that stuff to where you shouldn't do that. But hell, if it opens a door, it opens a door.
Juicy! I was watching this Patrice thing. And, you know, Patrice for me has always kind of been that dude. And we spoke about this briefly while you were on the show. But Patrice would talk regularly about how he would go to Brazil and get some of the finer women or some of the better, more professional ladies. And it was never an issue with him. He could balance having game with also having sex work. And I feel like you kind of may share some of those ideas. So I want to get your input.
Well, here's the thing. You know, I think you hit the nail on the head when you talk about one. You can't be talking about going to buy some streetwalker. You're talking about an escort. You know, a person who, if they don't verify you, I don't want to fuck with them. If they don't verify you, they don't have a background check, that kind of stuff. You need to be worried about your safety, whether it's vice or whether it's blah, blah, or whether it's your health. But like you said, ultimately, you're paying for an outcome. And a woman who is a higher end escort, they have clients who have something to lose. So these women have something to lose.
Juicy!
I remember Kevin Samuels mainly discussing about pay for play, you know, paying for box, if you will. That's actually been like the common popularized term that, you know, Abba and Preach and Fresh and Fit debated at the time. And I remember Kevin Samuels was discussing more about escorts and how high value men mainly use escorts who are actually trying to get their rocks off and calm their nerves whenever they deal with like certain lows and struggles within their marriages with their wives. They would have actual side pieces up in secret, unbeknownst to the wife's knowledge. Or they would go to like orgy homes outside the country, try and get their urges on, and actually try to calm their nerves whenever they go out and about up on vacation and have their little orgy fests mainly go on. And they could pay either certain escorts to actually handle their stuff for them, or they'll actually have like some side pieces that are up by when all these third world countries they have for sure to actually give them this information on who they are and all that stuff and this and next, and have their little hookups like every now and then trying to see who they are and all that other stuff. It's a crazy ordeal. It's a crazy whirlwind. You know, it's just beyond insane. I've been in one of those orgy houses before, so I can actually explain to you from past experience on this. It's a crazy, insane world from where you actually look at it. For all the gentlemen actually come down and do the high value deal, they want to try and have their lick of side pieces. That would be the main way to go. And what Kevin Samuels also said is that those high value men actually professional what they do, make sure they don't leave a trail behind, as long as it's not with STDs, pregnancies, or any other criminal activity that comes by when it comes with murder. No, maybe as long that there's no trail present, they could try to explore the options and not try to get exposed as, cheating, however it may be. Even though I personally would say cheating is cheating regardless whether it's a man or a woman. From Kevin Samuels' point of view, they will count as cheating if you leave a trail behind. And what we're seeing in this case with Rex Heuermann and the Tates, even though in the case of the Tates it's not as extreme as Rex Heuermann, clearly we know none of them are actual high value men as they claim to be, because they don't have the majority of those dying principles that Kevin Samuels mainly relayed, which is discipline, integrity, morality, and ethics, right? With the Tates, they basically use force, fraud, and coercion, and they mainly done it through their website and as well as through their videos on how to start a webcam business for profit. All you gotta do is tell a woman you love her and do all these things only to have her trapped and have you do webcam service and be an online escort. And for those of you who don't know, online escort is basically a sex worker, basically by legal terms a prostitute, which in many cases up in the U.S., with the exception of Nevada, prostitution is virtually illegal, right? So when it comes to escorting, they would have to actually do many ways. A lot of high value men would pay these said escorts for certain services, get them on some wine and dine tips prior to actually trying to get like the main event of sorts. Deal with like the whole main event when it comes to scrambled eggs and pounded chicken. You know what I'm saying? Get all the stuff that needed to be foregone to try and get their rocks off, and get themselves literally fully moisturized, right? Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate didn't do that. Force, fraud, and coercion were mainly involved, as Bruce Willis would say before. Now, when it comes to with Rexy here, demonic Rexy, the bona fide loser, the miserable loser that comes by want to have like some sick obsession with power and dominance by any means, just as he has some hardcore struggles with trying to improve his life on a social level from behind the scenes. He ended up literally trying to come by and take out all of his past urges and past ills by trying to dominate on like some weak prey when it comes to those escorts, right? With Rex, he wasn't even thinking about dealing with sex per se. He was more focused on cookie abuse, cookie dominance, and cookie coercion and cookie manipulation by any means, which is beyond disgusting, beyond evil, all the way left, literally gung ho. Okay, it is beyond disgusting what this demonic dude has done. This scum of the earth has mainly done. And yes, I understand that's like a lot of demons like mainly around him that deal with this whole ordeal. But how he murders them after he does his abuse pattern or cookie violating pattern, how I basically say it, cookie violating pattern, the way that he violates cookies and the way he violates escorts is beyond reprehensible, and how he unalives them, right? How he gores them, how he prepares his chef handling tools to do his sinister bidding. And the way that he sets up his bodies when in Gilgo Beach, and now that homeboy is literally under investigation in the state of New Jersey, as well as South Carolina and Nevada, more specifically Las Vegas, doing the same type of pattern, you already know this dude is on some eerie demonic shit. Okay? Rex Heuermann is not a high-value man. He may be posing as a high-value man, but he really is not a high-value man due to the fact that he has very sinister values. He's very sinister. He's very evil. His character values are very shitty. His morals are very shitty. He clearly lives a double life. He manipulates innocent prey, women that are out of control, that are looking to try and trying to find a way to get a quick buck in as a means of survival, thinking that escorting would be the only way out for them, which is beyond the sin and the shame. I'll discuss that merit on a different video. But this dude has no moral compass. This dude has no ethical compass when it comes to respecting people, when it comes to being humble and having humility towards people, when it comes to like unfathomable level of control and dominance to no avail, that he's literally turned into I forgot like the evil dude's name. He's literally turning up into Hades, right? Demonic Hades, that dude, and based on the test that, cops have found on a state and like a federal level, more than likely he'd be going away for life. You know what I mean? If he doesn't get the death penalty, already his marriage is already in shambles. He's in the process of literally losing everything as we speak, based on the nature on who he is as a person. And this is a classic case study on like who not to become. If you choose to go in a high value status, just like with the Tates on what not to do, this is another classic case of a person on who you should not become. And he's beyond demonic to a T. Have your foundation in order when it comes to your character and humility. With the addition of discipline and all that stuff, when it comes to what you do, you'll be able to go far in life. You don't really need to go to the extremes just to try and actually kill some random escorts just to try and gain some power. Just fuck your hoes and just let it be gone. Keep yourself in the DL. Mind your business. All right? Continue to do what you mainly do and continue to respect people and treat folks with respect just like you do with your own parents. At the end of the day.